The parietal cortex decides what matters now. Where am I going to send my spotlight of information, my spotlight of attention? And this is salience, okay? This is based towards faces or gaze or tone, different social motivational factors for the neurotypical. That's not the case for autism. You probably know that. You probably get that understanding of that part. Okay? Autistic and salience is biased toward what doesn't fit right here. What is happening? What is these errors and gaps and inconsistencies? Remember the kind of the black and white or rigid thinking that you might label that as. But we'll see. I mean, okay, who's right? Who's right with that? Reality gets weighted more differently. Reality matters more for the autistic phenotype. And that is a big thing, okay? Reality gets weighted more heavily than the social narrative. It's not that complicated. And then the insula is heavily involved next, okay? Remember, it's here. The insula is it's a major hub of the salience network, okay? We're making sense of the salience network now. You can see why this is involved with the salience network is frequently discussed. Okay, neurotypicals will kind of get a gut feeling here, and then just go off of this generalization, and that's not the case for the autistic phenotype. Okay, your heart rate, does it match the environment? Does it match the situation? Breathing, both the rate and depth of breath, and then gut feelings. Okay, that's my loose diagram drawing of the gut. So these bodily feelings, these are very finite. There's not a whole lot of information coming from the body. I mean, it's just basically these three things. And then it will send information up to the spine, the brainstem, and it will hit the insula pretty quick. So this is a big input. This is weighted heavily for people. Neurotypical intuition and that uncertainty turns into that gut feeling. Okay, what is happening? The autistic phenotype, interoception, is often noisy or delayed here. Remember, we drew that out with the homunculus. So it's hard to map. It's hard for precision detail of body and brain to make sense of things in the autistic phenotype because of that kind of disconnection. So instead of intuition being a feeling, it arrives more as just kind of piecing out detail and that anomaly of that doesn't make sense, that's not right, type of thing. The OFC, the orbital frontal cortex, which is here, is very fascinating because there's a lot of value here. For the so-called neurotypical, there's a lot of social reward, social integration, and social motivation happening here, okay? This is, they want that harmony. They want to be able to fit in. They want that social affirmation. People like that. Autistics don't really care. So the autistic phenotypes, orbital frontal cortex, is more for coherence. Does the truth make sense now? And whenever it makes sense, the downstream signals from the orbital frontal cortex will smooth better. It just comes in line and is coherent. So for many people, value is shaped by that social harmony, whereas in autism, valuation shifts towards the consistency of things.